Good morning and welcome to Uruguay. Well, at least off the coast of Uruguay, because we don't get there until 10 o'clock this morning. So we have a few hours to kill before we get there. So I'm up doing my usual walkabouts. The seas today are flat, so perfect weather to go ashore. And it's warm. This is a very warm today. It's probably in the mid 80s to lower 80s today, so perfect weather for an excursion. Using the pool as a wave indicator shows our seas pretty much flat. There's hardly any waves out there today, so the pool is not a wave pool today. It's pretty flat. And the penguins are happy. And the thing we'll look at today on what's happening is the photo opportunities. Yeah, they're going to take your picture getting on the ship, getting off the ship, walking around the ship, eating on the ship. Or if you pull up next to some pretty scenery, there's going to be a guy taking your picture right in front of it. And I don't know how that they do it, but they must have some sort of filter, because every picture that they take, I always look at it and say, I look pretty good in that picture. And if that's you, you may want to look at buying a photo package and just go up to the photo gallery. They have photo packages there. That way you could save a few dollars if you plan on buying a bunch of pictures. But of course, we take our own pictures. We do our selfies. Free pictures. That's the best one for me. And today we're in Uruguay, and we have no particular plans on what we're planning on doing today. But our stop is at Punta del Este, right in the center of your screen. And in Punta del Este, it's a very rich area, so nothing to worry about being robbed or mugged or anything like that. So we figure we're going to go out on our own. And whenever that we do this, the ship docks right in the middle of this bay. This is a national park right over on this island. And where we stop at, the ship stops right in between this big marina and the island. So the ship stops out there, you take the ferry in, or the tender boats, and it drops you off right at the end of the pier. And you walk down the pier and come down here. This is where that we find a tour, and it's one that we're looking for, just looking around the island, just seeing what all it's about. Also over here is where that some fishermen are feeding seals. So they're right up close to you. You can get a close view of the seals from this area. And as we come in, we'll put our little man from Google Maps right on the area. You can see right here is the pier, our little area where that the fishermen are cleaning fish. We walk right down the pier, follow the green line all the way down. This is all covered now, so this must be an older picture. And where that we book our tour at was right where these guys are standing at. They had a little bus there. So that's where our tour started from. And I think we paid about $50 or $60 a person. And again, like Gilligan's Island, this is about a 3-hour tour. So let's take you to the tour. So on this tour, we'll start out at the marina, right at the bottom down here. Like I say, it's like Gilligan's Island, a 3-hour tour, or 4 hours in this case. But we'll take off from here and go right along the coastline. Here you'll see all the big condos, and it looks like Miami in this area. We'll drop our little Google Earth man down here so you can see. This is what it looks like along the beachfront. It's all skyline, all along this area. The hills kind of block this part, but right behind it is more big condos. As we go along the coastline, we'll go all the way down to this end down here, this little peninsula that jets out. This is a little museum, and one guy has built a hotel that's right at the end. And this reminded me a lot of Santorini. Remember that you see the white cliffs of Santorini. But here, it's a good little museum and a hotel that you can visit. So we stopped and tour it just outside of this hotel for about 30 minutes, just getting a good idea, good view of the scenery that's around there in the ocean. we'll hop back in the van and go through town and come back out over on this side. Here is another monument of Uruguay. This is the Hand. And let's see, where is he at? The Hand is, didn't go all the way to it, right here. So this is a sculpture of a famous Uruguayan, and you've probably seen pictures of this in catalogs. This is the Hand sticking up out of the sand of the beach. So we stay there for about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, getting a good view of the scenery here, and this beaches are packed. Of course, our guide gave us some important advice. Don't buy anything. After we leave here, we go to a tourist souvenir stand. Here, she said, the souvenirs are marked way up, 2 or 3 times what you would pay anywhere else. And she was correct. We were just looking to get a cold drink, some snacks, little magnets, different things like that. So off we go. We stopped by a little convenience store and picked up some snacks, and then go down to a bridge. And you wouldn't think that a bridge would be a tourist attraction, but we're going to take our Google man and drop him over here on the bridge. And you'll see that if we get one in the daytime, we can see that this bridge is kind of unique. The bridge is wavy, and this wave that is on the bridge is on purpose. This is so that whenever that they have an earthquake, the bridge doesn't collapse. They had flat bridges across before, and wherever they would have an earthquake, the bridge would fall into the water. So some ingenious guy came with making a bridge that has a wave in it. And as luck would have it, no problems with that during an earthquake. So this bridge has been, the test of times, has been standing. But anyway, we come through there, go through a little tourist stand back over in this area. And after that, that's about the end of our 3-hour tour. We go through town and see some other things. One couple wanted to go see a museum, but after we got there, I think the whole ship, the whole 1,800 people must have gotten on and went to this museum because it was jam-packed with people. So after seeing how many people were there, the couple that was with us decided, yeah, they didn't want to go to the museum that bad. So we went back to the pier and were dropped off. Here, we could go pick up something to eat because, after all, it's getting late. It's getting close to dinner time. So, seeing that the ship is going to pick us up right back here where they dropped us off at, we ate at a restaurant right by where it's going to pick us up. And it wasn't a bad restaurant. We were on the 2nd or 3rd floor eating here and had a nice little dinner. On the tender boat going ashore in Punta del Este, Uruguay. We have our tender driver, and the boat is jam-packed. Watching the fishermen clean their fish, and the seals are eating all the carcasses. So, a good day for seals, bad day for the fish.
That's like a neutral thing, or is this masculine? I'm questioning my own.
I know. It's like, how did they decide what's going to be masculine and feminine? Like, who decided that?
Yeah, like
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Who looks at a lamp and goes, that's a girl.
That's a girl.
Like, that's so weird.
And this young lady is our tour director. She is 16 years old and in high school, making a few dollars on her summer break, because yes, it's summer down there, and that way she can afford to go on a trip to the U.S. So Valentina, you're an excellent tour guide and definitely made our trip. Our first stop was the town square, where they have a meteorological station, a lighthouse, and an old church. And if there's an old church, we're going into it. So that's definitely one of the places that we walked into.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us as we forgive. And lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the...
And after seeing the hand of God, now it's time to see the hand coming out of the sand. This is the artwork that's in the downtown area. The public beach, right next to the hand. So, people selling all kinds of random stuff. And chairs, they said you buy the chair for $6 and sell it back at the end of the day. And this is the back side of the hand. Having a Uruguayan snack, a Coke Zero, and this tastes like a moon pie, but good. And this is that wave bridge that I was telling you about, and riding on it, it's kind of like riding on a roller coaster. So we have a little excitement with our trip. Yeah, they have some weird houseplants here. And they smell awfully funny too. So, yeah. Houseplants. And you may know what kind of plant they are. And this is the one hotel / museum that one guy built. Of course, by the looks of it, there's a whole lot of stuff built there, so I'd imagine he had a few people helping him. But the most important thing is the view. If you look out at the view that I'm looking at, it faces directly west, so the sunsets here would be awesome as they went down. Looking down on the rocks, we did manage to see a couple of people snorkeling. Not sure if it was cold, wet water here or not, but anyway, it looks like with all the rocks, it makes good fish habitat, so it ought to be perfect snorkeling. Unfortunately, because of time, we couldn't go into the hotel or tour the museum, but I'm thinking that looking from the outside was good enough for me. It's a perfect enough architecture looking around. Like I say, reminds me a whole lot of Santorini.
Hi,
hope you had a good time.
And that makes you, Miss Valentina, our employee of the day. You are excited to share everything about your country with us, and that makes you an excellent tour guide. You have a calling. And the restaurant she dropped us off right in front of had excellent views of the bay. And like I say, it was right by where we had to be picked up to go back onto the cruise ship. And we were looking to stay around this area anyway to see the seals, see if they were still out. The bread they brought us, not sure what the dipping sauce was, but it was good. And the beer, of course, everything extra large, 1 liter beer. And the steak was a little bit overcooked, but it was edible, it wasn't bad. French fries apparently comes with steak there, so we had French fries. And Cheryl, she had a seafood melody, so pretty good on her end too. And after drinking a couple of the 1 liter beers, well, chaos ensued after that. So it's time for me to get back to the boat and check out a couple seals. I'm not sure what was going on with these seals, but there was a whole lot of nudging and kissing going on, it looked like they almost needed to get a room. But they had the good life. They got to lounge around in the water, not really have to hunt a whole lot, and people fed them fish carcasses all day long, to the point they were bloated and purely happy. This was one couple that was sitting around, and just shortly you'll see the second couple. There were a total of 4 seals that were playing around in this little area all day, picking up the scraps. And yes, that's my feet that they're right by. I'm just 3 foot from them. I could have sat and watched the seals play in the water for hours, but of course it's getting closer to that time to be all aboard again. So the ship is calling and we must get back on. So all aboard for us as the seals play in the water a little longer. And of course there's something about after I've had a couple of liters of beer and are playing with the camera, the pictures come out kind of unique, but they're pretty awesome to look at too. And as we start to pull away from Punta del Este, Uruguay, we're leaving a country well, I didn't know a whole lot about, and leaving a city I've never heard of. And the tour today was excellent. I could easily say we could go back on this trip anytime. This was an awesome city, plenty to do. Had beer I've never had, food I've never tried, so we've had different experiences on here. And after the cruise was over and I returned back to work, remember that house plant that I saw earlier? Yeah, I got drug tested 3 times in 2 weeks just to make sure I didn't partake any of those house plants. So yeah, they say it's random, but I got a yearly and 2 randoms. But I was cautious and stayed away from all that stuff. Of course, I've really never done any of that in my life, so yeah, didn't have to worry about me trying any of the house plants. And as far as dinner, well, we ate ashore. But don't let that stop you. You go ahead and order what you want. And I'll tell you what I would have get. I would have had my Caesar salad for the starter. And then, of course, the appetizer or main entree. I'd had crab cakes. Those have been pretty solid the whole trip. And for dessert, that hot fudge sundae. That's been my go-to dessert on this cruise. Hot fudge sundae is what I would have had. And if you've never seen the sunset, you don't know what you're missing. Pretty much on every trip we go on, we try to set aside at least one afternoon to check the sun go down. And today was no different. Today was an awesome sunset. And if you look real close, this is full speed, not sped up, not slowed down. You could see the sun moving. And everybody always says you have to look for the flash of green light as the sun sets. I never saw it. But take a look, because like I say, this is full speed, sun going down. And once it sets, it's an awesome view. You can still see the light outside. And as the sun sets on our day in Uruguay, hopefully you've enjoyed our series of going down the west side of South America, through Antarctica, and up the east side. But there's still more days to come. And if you hadn't, go ahead and hit the subscribe button that you see at the bottom of your screen. That way the next video that comes out, you'll be informed and notified that we have a new video. Usually I try to do 2 a week. Thanks for watching.